Men who understand the power of ignoring a woman are always in control. This isn't about playing games. It's about mastering masculine self-respect in a world where attention is currency. The truth is, women are wired to value what they fear losing. The more available you are, the more she takes you for granted. The moment you withdraw your attention, you trigger something deep inside her, the fear of irrelevance. Modern dating is built on an illusion. Women act like they want a man who chases, who reassures, who constantly proves himself. But watch what happens when you do the opposite. The guy who ignores her strategically becomes the one she can't stop thinking about. Why? Because psychology always wins over emotions. When you step back, she starts doubting herself. She questions if she misjudged your value. Suddenly, she feels the urge to win you over instead of the other way around. Ignoring isn't about childish silence. It's about controlled detachment. It's a power move, a test of your emotional strength. A man who can walk away, who can sit in silence while she craves his validation, is a man women respect and desire. Weak men react. Strong men disappear until they become the prize. This isn't just a tactic. It's a mentality shift. If you're always chasing, always proving, always explaining, you're setting yourself up to be disrespected. The man who knows when to pull away has the real advantage. Now, let's get into the 7 key aspects of ignoring a woman the right way. Before we dive in, I want to share something that will seriously elevate your social and relationship game. I've created a community on Podium where I break down everything you need to know, step by step. You'll get no-nonsense practical advice that will boost your confidence and help you build stronger, more meaningful connections. And the best part? The first 20 people who join will get an exclusive discount. So don't hesitate. Click the link in the description to grab your spot. If you know someone who could use this, share it with them. 1. Silence creates power. In the modern dating world, silence is one of the most powerful tools a man can use. When you ignore a woman, you're forcing her to sit with her own thoughts. Women are used to validation, constant attention, and men trying to win them over. When you remove that, she has no choice but to start questioning everything. She wonders why you aren't chasing, why you aren't reacting, and why you seem unaffected by her presence or absence. This alone shifts the power dynamic completely in your favor. Most men fail at this because they fear losing her. They believe that by not texting back, by not constantly checking in, they will push her away. But the truth is, ignoring her properly makes her emotionally uncomfortable. And that's exactly where you want her. Women are drawn to mystery and uncertainty. They chase what feels just out of reach. The moment you remove yourself from the equation, she starts to crave your attention in ways she never did before. She will find herself wondering if she did something wrong. She will go through past conversations, checking to see if she made a mistake. She will look for signs that you still care. And the best part? You've done nothing but stay silent. Silence also forces her to reassess your value. When a man is always available, always responding, always chasing, he becomes predictable. Predictability is the fastest way to kill attraction. But when you introduce space and uncertainty, she starts to view you differently. She no longer sees you as just another guy willing to give her endless attention. Instead, she starts to see you as a man who operates on his own terms. This kind of self-control is rare, and that alone makes you stand out. Many men confuse silence with weakness. They think ignoring means they are losing, but it's actually the opposite. Ignoring shows that you are not desperate. It shows that you are strong enough to detach, to remove yourself without seeking reassurance. Women test men all the time to see if they can remain centered under pressure. The man who breaks and chases loses, while the man who remains silent and composed wins. She will eventually reach out. It might take days, weeks, or even longer, but she will feel the urge to reconnect. She will send a random text, react to your stories, or find an excuse to talk to you. This is when most men fail, They jump at the opportunity, responding too quickly, ruining the effect of their absence. But the real power move? Remain unpredictable. Respond when you feel like it, not when she expects it. Make her feel that your attention is earned, not freely given. Silence isn't passive, it's deliberate control. The man who can sit in silence without needing validation is the man who commands respect and desire. 2. Distance makes her obsessed. Distance is a psychological weapon that creates obsession. When a woman doesn't have access to you, her mind starts to work against her. She begins to fill in the blanks with curiosity, doubt, and desire. The moment you pull away, she starts asking herself questions. Why isn't he chasing me? Did I do something wrong? Has he found someone else? These thoughts create an emotional reaction that pulls her in, even if she wasn't deeply interested before. The key here is simple. Women chase what runs away. Most men don't understand this because they operate on logic. They believe that constant presence builds attraction. But the reality is, absence is what builds desire. When a woman has easy access to you, she doesn't appreciate it. She assumes you will always be there. But the moment you introduce distance, she starts craving you. It's not about playing games, it's about shifting her emotional focus from comfort to uncertainty. Women thrive on emotional ups and downs. If you're always available, always responding, and always showing interest, there's no tension. Without tension, attraction dies. The moment you create distance, however, she starts feeling again. She starts wondering why she misses you, why she's checking her phone more than usual, why she suddenly cares so much about what you're doing. This emotional roller coaster is what makes her emotionally invested in you. Look at how women respond to men who seem hard to get. The guy who isn't always around, who doesn't always reply, who seems busy with his own life, he's the one they chase. Why? Because his time and attention feel valuable. And what is valuable? Something rare. This is why women chase men who give them space instead of smothering them. They don't consciously realize it, but they are drawn to the thrill of uncertainty. Creating distance doesn't mean ignoring her forever. It means strategic detachment. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify why you're not responding instantly. You simply become less available, less predictable. You let her feel what life is like without your presence. That absence will either make her realize your value or expose that she never valued you in the first place. Either way, you win. This is the mistake most men make. The second a woman starts to pull away, they chase. They overcompensate. They double text, ask if she's okay, or try to win her back with words. But women don't fall for words, they fall for emotional experiences. If she's not chasing you, you need to disappear even more. You don't reward distance with attention. You mirror it. And you let her feel the discomfort. If she values you, she will break the silence first. If she doesn't, you've just saved yourself from wasting time on someone who never truly wanted you. Distance creates scarcity, and scarcity creates desire. The less she has of you, the more she will want you. 3. Patience breaks her ego. Women are used to men reacting quickly. They know that if they pull back, most men will immediately try to fix things. But when you show patience, when you refuse to react emotionally, you break her ego-driven control over the situation. She expects you to chase, to check in, to prove yourself. When you do nothing, it forces her into a psychological battle with herself. She begins to wonder if she misjudged you. She questions her own attractiveness, her ability to control your attention, and most importantly, your level of interest. This works because most men don't have patience. They are afraid of the silence. They fear losing her, so they react impulsively, doing anything to get her attention back. But patience is what separates the strong from the weak. When a man can sit in the unknown without needing closure, without needing a response, he has already won. A woman's biggest weakness is her need for validation. When you refuse to give her that, she starts chasing it. Patience also shifts the power dynamic. In most interactions, the person who can wait the longest without breaking has the control. Women subconsciously test men to see who will break first. They pull away, act distant, delay responses, just to see if a man will crack under pressure. The weak man folds. The strong man waits. The longer you can go without reacting, the more you increase your value in her eyes. Think about the men who naturally attract women without effort. They don't rush to prove themselves. They move on their own time, letting women feel their absence. These men aren't unavailable out of spite, but because they are genuinely focused on themselves. That's the difference. If you can master patience, you make her feel like winning you over is a challenge. And the moment a woman feels challenged, she becomes emotionally hooked. Most men try to solve attraction logically. They believe if they just say the right thing, send the perfect text, or explain themselves, everything will be fine. But attraction doesn't work through words. It works through emotional shifts. When you practice patience, you are allowing her to feel that shift. You are letting her realize your value on her own, without forcing it. That's the key. If she reaches out because she feels your absence, she will value you 10 times more than if you had chased her first. This is why men who master patience always win in the long run. They don't panic when a woman withdraws. They don't beg for her attention. They don't react out of fear. Instead, they remain calm, collected, and detached. This mindset alone makes women second-guess everything. And the longer she doubts, the more obsessed she becomes with figuring you out. In the end, patience is not just about waiting. It's about showing that you are a man who cannot be easily influenced or controlled. And that is what makes you truly desirable. 4. Silence makes her doubt herself. Women are used to having control over attention. From a young age, they learn that men will pursue them, validate them, and reassure them. But when a man suddenly goes silent, it disrupts everything. It forces her to experience self-doubt, something she rarely faces in dating. This doubt creates an emotional storm inside her. She starts asking questions. Did I misread him? Why isn't he reacting? Is he losing interest? The moment these thoughts enter her mind, you become a mystery she wants to solve. Most men talk too much when dealing with women. They over-explain, try to justify themselves, or rush to fix any sign of distance. But the man who knows when to be silent holds all the power. Silence makes her mind work overtime. It forces her to imagine scenarios where she might be losing you, and those scenarios create emotional attachment. Women are emotional creatures. They don't fall for words, they fall for feelings. And silence makes her feel uncertain, which makes her emotionally engaged. Silence is most powerful when used after she expects a reaction. If she ignores a text, most men double text. If she pulls back, most men ask if something is wrong. When she plays hard to get, most men fall into the trap and chase harder. But when you respond with silence, you create psychological tension. She starts to notice the emptiness where your attention used to be. That emptiness is what makes her think about you. Think about social media. When a woman posts a picture, she expects reactions, likes, comments, validation. But if the one man she actually wants to impress says nothing, she will notice. She will check to see if you viewed it, wonder why you didn't comment, and suddenly, your silence becomes louder than words. This is how attraction works. It's not about what you say, it's about what you withhold. Silence also triggers a woman's competitive nature. Women don't just want validation. They want validation from men who are not easily impressed. If you stay silent when she expects attention, she will feel the need to earn it. And the moment she starts working for your attention, her emotions become involved. The biggest mistake men make is breaking the silence too soon. They assume that if they stay quiet for a few hours or a day, she will immediately respond. But a real psychological impact comes when she starts feeling the absence deeply. Some women take longer to react. Some will test you by waiting to see how long you'll hold out. If you break first, you lose. If she breaks first, she re-enters the dynamic with a weaker position. Silence is not about punishing her. It's about shifting the balance of power. If she is truly interested, silence will bring her closer. If she wasn't that interested in the first place, silence reveals that truth without you wasting time chasing. Either way, you gain clarity. 5. Distance makes her value. You women only value what they feel they might lose. The biggest mistake men make is being too available. They give too much attention, too much effort, and too much reassurance. When a woman knows she has you no matter what, she stops valuing you. She takes you for granted, assumes you will always be there, and starts losing attraction. But when you create distance, you force her to reevaluate your worth. Distance is powerful because it disrupts her sense of control. Women are used to having options. They expect men to chase, to put in effort, to prove their interest. But when you pull back and remove your presence, she feels the shift immediately. She starts noticing the space you left behind, and that space makes her feel uneasy. She begins to wonder why you're no longer reaching out, why you're not reacting the way other men do. And the longer she thinks about you, the more valuable you become in her mind. This happens because attraction is rooted in uncertainty. A woman cannot desire what is always available to her. If you're constantly texting, calling, and making plans, she never has time to miss you. But when you create distance, when you become unpredictable, she starts craving your attention. She starts thinking about the moments you shared, wondering if you're losing interest, and this makes her want to chase you again. Many men fear creating distance because they believe it means losing her. They assume that if they don't constantly remind her of their presence, she will forget about them. But the truth is, women are most attracted to men who are comfortable in their own space. A man who can disappear for a while without feeling the need to check in proves that he is not emotionally dependent on her. And that independence is highly attractive. Think about the men women obsess over. They are never the ones who are constantly available. They are the ones who move on their own terms, who can go days without reaching out, and who don't seem to care whether she's paying attention or not. These men naturally trigger a woman's fear of missing out. She starts feeling like she's the one who needs to put in effort to keep his interest. And the moment a woman feels like she's at risk of losing you, her emotions become involved. However, distance only works when it is genuine. If you are pulling away just to manipulate her, she will sense it. But if you are truly focused on yourself, on your goals, your purpose, and your life outside of her, your absence becomes naturally powerful. She will feel it, not because you are playing a game, but because you are genuinely not dependent on her attention. When you master the art of distance, you never have to beg for a woman's time. You never have to prove your worth. She will feel your value in the way you carry yourself, in the way you move without needing her. And when she finally realizes she could lose you, that's when she will start fighting to keep you. 6. Patience destroys her control. Women thrive on emotional reactions. They test men, push their limits, and observe how they respond. Most men fail because they react too quickly. They get frustrated, chase harder, or try to prove something. But the man who is patient, the man who does not react emotionally, destroys her sense of control over him. He becomes the one she cannot manipulate, the one she cannot figure out, and that drives her crazy. Patience is a rare trait in modern dating. Most men are impulsive. The moment a woman pulls back, they panic. They double text, call, or try to fix things. But a patient man understands the game. He knows that if a woman is truly interested, she will come back on her own. He does not need to force anything. He does not need to beg for attention. He simply waits. And in that waiting, he becomes more powerful. When a woman expects you to react, and you don't, she starts to feel uneasy. She wonders why her usual tactics aren't working on you. She questions whether she misjudged your level of interest. She begins overanalyzing, thinking about you more, and in that process, her attraction grows. This is how patience shifts the power dynamic. Instead of you chasing her, she starts chasing you. This is especially true when a woman tries to test you. Maybe she cancels plans last minute to see if you'll beg to reschedule. Maybe she ignores your text to see if you'll double text. Maybe she flirts with other men in front of you to get a reaction. The weak man takes the bait. He gets angry, confronts her, or seeks reassurance. But the patient man? He does nothing. He remains calm, unfazed, unaffected. And that drives her insane. Why? Because patience signals unshakable confidence. A patient man communicates without words that he is not desperate for her, that he values himself enough to walk away if necessary. Women respect this deeply because it shows emotional control. It shows that you are a man with options, a man who does not need validation, a man who is in control of his own emotions. And that is exactly the type of man women chase. Patience also exposes a woman's true level of interest. If she was just playing games and never had real attraction, she will move on. And that's fine, you saved yourself time. But if she was genuinely interested, your patience will pull her back in. She will start investing more, putting in effort, and proving herself to you. This is why a patient man always wins. He never wastes energy on women who aren't worth it. He never chases, never begs, never forces anything. He simply lets time reveal the truth. And in that process, he becomes the man that women desire the most. The one who is calm, controlled, and completely unaffected by their games. 7. Silence builds obsession. Silence is one of the most powerful tools a man can use in dating. When used correctly, it forces a woman to think about you, to question your thoughts, and to fill in the gaps with her imagination. And in relationships, a woman's imagination is far more dangerous than anything you could ever say. When you stop talking, when you remove yourself from her world, she is left with nothing but her own thoughts, and those thoughts start working against her. Most men make the mistake of over-explaining themselves. When a woman ignores them, they ask why. When she pulls away, they chase harder. When she acts distant, they try to fix it. But the truth is, a woman cannot miss you if you never go silent. If you are always available, always explaining yourself, always trying to get a reaction, she will never feel your absence. But the moment you stop talking, everything changes. Silence creates a void, and that void makes a woman uncomfortable. She starts wondering why you're no longer reaching out. She starts questioning if she made a mistake. She replays past conversations, searching for clues. And the more she thinks about you, the more her emotions become attached to your absence. This is how obsession starts. Not through words, but through mystery. This is why some men leave a deeper impression on women than others. It's not always about looks, status, or money. It's about the way they make her feel when they're not around. A man who knows how to use silence strategically can make a woman crave his presence without even trying. She will find herself checking her phone, waiting for a message that never comes. She will go on social media, hoping to see if you're active. She will talk about you to her friends, trying to figure out what you're thinking. And the more she does this, the more emotionally invested she becomes. But silence is only effective when combined with self-control. A weak man uses silence as a game. He waits a few hours, then breaks down and sends a long message. He hopes that by going silent, she will reach out, and when she doesn't, he panics. But a strong man? He goes silent because he has better things to focus on. He's not waiting for her response. He's not sitting by the phone. He's busy with his life, and that's what makes his silence so powerful. It's genuine. Ignoring a woman is not about playing games. It's about maintaining your power, your confidence, and your ability to walk away when necessary. When you stop chasing, when you pull back, and when you allow silence to work in your favor, you shift the dynamic in your favor. Women are drawn to men they cannot fully control. Men who remain a mystery. Men who know their worth. The moment you master the art of detachment, you will see the difference. she will start valuing your presence more than ever. In the end, the man who is least affected always holds the most power. If you're looking to take a deeper dive into these concepts, join my Podium community. Link in the description. It's packed with powerful insights to help you master your masculinity in today's dating world. Stay strong, stay focused, and protect your power. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.